So we're here with Riz. Riz, just explain to us what's going on in the past 48 hours.
Yeah, so I've got a phone call. They're looking for an opponent for somebody down in Essex. And I'm fit, ready to go. So as soon as the phone rang, I don't ask how much, where, who with. I just say yes, and we go. You know, I'm a true fighter, so I'm ready to go at any time.
Was that kind of your motivation, constantly being in the gym, day out, day in, day out? Has that kind of helped with the confidence just to say yeah instantly?
Do you know, in my amateurs, I've had so many fights. I've boxed everybody. In 16 years, that's how long my career has been. I had 128 fights and I fought everybody. Every big name out there I boxed. Win, lose, draw, doesn't matter, but it was learning, it was development, it was that kind of warrior's mentality. And I always wanted to be the embodiment of old school boxing in pro boxing, where I could copy that over, like carry it over. And then you are hit with all the politics, ticket selling, the realities of professional boxing. So that has not really been the case, other than on some occasions. Last time I got a phone call like this, I went down to London and knocked out one of the hot prospects inside 5 rounds. So this time I don't see why it should be any different. I'm better than ever, I'm fitter than ever, ready to go.
So what will training look like this week? Because this time last week we didn't know there was a fight. Mm-hmm. What adjustments are you having to make this week to prep for Sunday?
We try and stay around that fitness level, so you're not peaking but you're just around there. And this week it's just sharpening up, it's just being the best possible version of me. You know, that's what I focus on. I don't even watch his fights. I just want to know, how tall is he? Is he orthodox, southpaw kind of thing? I might have a look for 10 seconds of his videos, of his fights and stuff, and that's it, just crack on. Because the only way I can make sure this day goes well for me is not to analyse him and his mistakes. That's for Pat to do, and Pat will guide me with his wisdom. But for me, I just need to be the best me. All the mistakes that I make, they need to be ironed out, and it's kind of the same thing all the time. It doesn't change. It's not I do it in camp and then in between fights I just let myself go, relax and everything. No. We stay right there. We're learning, developing all the time. So if that phone call comes in, we're only a couple of days away from being ready to go.
How are you going to prepare mentally for Sunday? Because you spoke then about you physically there, but mentally taking a fight in such short notice, does that take a toll maybe?
I prefer it, to be honest. I prefer it because I'm not used to having 12 weeks to think about one person. And don't get me wrong, it comes with its advantages and stuff. You do get to overcome your little demons and whatever else. But I come from a world where I get a phone call and I'm fighting the number 5 in the world kind of thing. That was my amateur days, sorry. So I'm used to that. I don't want to have time to overthink things. I just want to get in there, be the best version of me, and get the job done.
Are we going to see anything different from when we last saw you out in October? I know that fight, it was a tough, close fight, and we was waiting for that rematch. What can we see? Well, expect this differently this Sunday to that fight?
Yeah, well, absolutely. I had that was my first championship attempt, you could call it, but it was very controversial. Who won? Fair enough, but I felt like I won. I felt like I could have boxed a lot better, and that's why immediately I was pushing for that rematch. He's got other options, he doesn't fancy it, no problem. I will wait around and one day he'll come for it. But will I box differently? Yes, absolutely, because not only were there mistakes that needed to be fixed, there are things I've realised, which I don't want to go too deep into, which I've deviated from, and the last couple of months I've brought it back and it's been far more effective. And in the process of having that deviation from what I'm talking about, I don't want to explain it too much.
No.
I've developed other elements, so my defense is tightened up, my other elements of boxing, now I'm tying it all together, and Sunday night is a perfect opportunity for me to put it all together and show what I've got, and it's on the zone, so everybody watching, tune in. You know, we can put on a great show and crack on.
I was going to say, obviously, with being on the platform, it's on the profile that's going to kind of boost of yours. Mm-hmm. Is that kind of a perfect place to come back from that fight in October?
Oh, it's fantastic. Yeah, it's The more people can, because what many people watching don't realise is that we will be working every single day inside this gym. Every single morning we're training, every single evening we're running, we're doing strength and conditioning, all that kind of stuff. But you guys don't get to see that, unfortunately. We should probably try and get people more on board to see the journey. But you just see the final outcome, you see the weigh-in where we're all ripped and shredded and ready to go and fight. But there's so much more to it than that. So, sorry, I've just gone on a tangent and forgot what I was saying.
No, it's good.
What was the question again, sorry?
I was asking, I thought the question now, right?
Yeah, I had an idea.
About the platform that the zone is to come back from the fight in October.
That's it. So it gets more eyeballs, onto us, and then hopefully we can pull them in and see our journey, because really that's the exciting part. You know, when you're watching the fight, you're seeing 10 rounds of action. In there, me, Niall, Zelfa, George, Lyndon, we literally do thousands of rounds knocking leather out of each other, which you guys don't get to see, but if anything, that's the real entertainment, so you have to tune into the journey.
Gonna say we've got some behind the scenes of camp coming out soon.
Okay,
some
very exciting.
This week, so try and get them out.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic. I'd love to see that myself. Do you know, most of the time, I'm not even gonna lie, I'm sparring in there, and whether it's Callum Simpson that comes over or it's Niall Brown, and we have such fantastic rounds. I wish I could just step out of my own body and just watch. I don't want to be in there doing it. I want to be watching because it's bloody exciting. It's so good.
You touched on this journey now for the people that are currently in the gym. You spoke about like Zelfa and Lyndon are kind of on that platform.
Yep.
But for Niall, yourself and George, you're kind of breaking on that scene.
Yep.
On like the TV shows, and people are starting to recognise your names and see the kind of journey you've come from and following the same steps as them. Must be quite exciting as like a little small knit group in here.
It is, because we all have the same vision. You know, we all train like champions. We all see ourselves as champions. It just hasn't materialised yet. And don't get me wrong, life is never a straight line. There's, you know, bumps and bruises along the way, and you're going to go down and come back up. As long as you keep getting back up, eventually you find yourself going higher and higher and higher. And that's the plan for all of us. Regardless of what happens, regardless of if you have a bad day, a good day, an amazing day, we don't get praise for amazing days. And we don't necessarily put ourselves down on bad days either. It's all about learning, development, and our time will come. We're only young. All of us, we're only young, so we can only go up.
Only up from here.
That's it, exactly.
You spoke there about the fans. Are any fans going to try and travel down there with you on Sunday?
There is a handful, but for the majority, because it is a trek to Essex, just tune in on the zone. I should know by Saturday. I keep thinking.
Yeah, because normally you fight on Saturday.
Never boxed on a Sunday before, which is quite a bizarre thing, but new experience, you know, you got to develop. So yes, on Saturday after the weigh-in, I should have the bout order, but I should be around 7 p.m. So tune in.
Tune in at 7.
Yes.
Any last messages?
Just please tune in, and if I'm honest, I just want to say thank you to everybody that on social media that likes, follows my posts, that shares them on their stories. It helps my channel grow and my product grow, which is me. You know, I spend so many hours in here developing it. It would mean everything to me if I could get that little push now and just put it out to the world so they could see how good this product is.
Definitely. And quickly before we go, what were Pat's thoughts when you rang him? I can imagine how that phone call, when you spoke to Pat about the fight.
Pat lives and breathes boxing, right? I bet for him, and this is what I love about him as well, he cannot switch off. He will ring me every time of day and night, and we'll talk about something, an element, an opponent, or this or that, or a plan, or an idea. It's absolutely amazing. So when I rang him, this is why I'm a fighter, and he looks after me, because he was asking all the right questions I would have never thought to ask, because all I think about is, yes, let's get in the ring. But then there's a vast ocean of questions that need to be asked and things that need to be settled, and Pat's the perfect man for it.
Good. Very good.
Yeah, I can't wait for it, honestly.
Following in the footsteps from fighting on the Black Flash shows to now fighting on a TV show.
I mean, I've boxed on several TV shows in the past. I've had good wins and stuff like that, good performances. If I can put in a fantastic performance here on short notice and cause a real upset, because let's face it, this guy's meant to be the A side. I'm coming in as his opponent. He's not coming in as my opponent. So it's all shaped around him looking good. If I can make him look bad, beat him and beat him in style, my name's going out there, and hopefully all that results is a nice piece of paper. Here you go, contract, and I can show my talent to the world and bring you guys along on my journey.
Can't wait to watch that on Sunday.
Yeah, me too. I can't wait to watch it Sunday night. I'll be buzzing just watching, the highlight reel.
Oh, we can't wait to watch that.
Yeah, me too.
Thank you.
No, thank you very much. I appreciate it.